We're talking about the Washington Nationals starting pitching rotation. We know they added Max Scherzer. They landed the biggest free agent prize in the offseason. They've been very active. This comes on the heels of a deal that sent Tyler Clippard to the Oakland A's for Yusel Escobar, a middle infielder. So I'll ask this of you, Chelsea. Should fans temper their expectations despite this great rotation, given that the Nationals have had their troubles in the postseason?
I think that this rotation, I think it's been proven over the past few years. I mean, if the Kansas City Royals can be within a game of a World Series, I think it's kind of all bets off in the playoffs. I think any expectations you have going into the playoffs need to be kind of wiped clean. I think expectations should not be tempered for the regular season. I mean, with this rotation, there's really no excuse for anything less than what they did last year, which was 96 wins and a division title. I mean, anything less than that would be really kind of a staggering disappointment, I think. But again, playoff time, yeah, this is the best chance they've ever had, but things go crazy there. You know, it's just,
yeah, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Well, Des, we've seen a lot of greatest rotations ever that have not done much in the postseason.
Yep.
Should fans temper their expectations given what we've seen of the Nationals and some of the collapses they've had?
I mean,
collapses. Come on. Yeah. Yes. You know what I'm talking. Yeah.
The Nats.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if the fans' expectations haven't been tempered already by what's happened with the Nats, I mean, I don't think anything we say is gonna do that for them. You know, if fans want to go crazy with this, then go crazy. It's a long season anyway. You might as well start excited and try to stay excited. I mean, I think, you know, you have to look at the Nats bullpen and say, okay, well, if all these guys get to the postseason and then all throw complete games, you got nothing to worry about. But you know, you still have Storn back there. You got rid of Clippard. You know, I think there are a lot of reasons to say that, hey, maybe they won't get to the World Series. I mean, anything can happen in the postseason.
Well, yeah, Dan, isn't it the case that in the postseason your rotation's shortened anyway? So if you have 5 great guys, that's fine over 162. But when you're playing a shorter series, does that really make a difference?
No, of course you're right. And last year in like August, we were all saying that the AL was going to either be the A's or the Tigers because of their crazy pitching.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was neither of those teams. So I mean, of course you're right. But this is not a move that is made. And I think that almost anyone would agree. It's not a move that's made for 2015 or for the 2015 postseason. This is like setting up a lot of moving pieces in the future, and it gives the Nats incredible flexibility on a lot of different fronts. You know, we don't know what this team would have looked like in 2016 without this move, but we know that there were a lot of guys who possibly could be leaving, and now you have one solid piece that's going for 7 years into the future. I don't think we know what Max Scherzer is going to be like 7 years from now, which is a huge question mark, but at least we know he's going to be here.
Well, Chelsea, let me ask you this in reference to what Dan just said about this not being necessarily a move for 2015. Is it not out of the realm of possibility to think that Ted Lerner, who is 85, tells Mike Rizzo, look, I want a championship now. Go get Max Scherzer. Whatever else happens, we'll deal with it then.
Quite honestly, I think that's a very realistic possibility.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree. I think this is sort of an all-in for 2015 signal. I think the Escobar-Clippard trade was the same thing. I mean, yes, Escobar gives them flexibility at short in case you lose Desmond after this year, but he also is an upgrade at a position where they didn't need one. They didn't need a great second baseman to go win 96 games. It wouldn't matter. But they went and got him anyway.
Well, he's not a great second baseman.
Right. But he's better than what they had.
He's better than what they had.
Okay. So they didn't need like a minimal upgrade at a kind of, you know, irrelevant position, I guess. Not irrelevant, but you know, and they do need to bolster the bullpen. That's really important. But again, if they're willing to spend, you know, $210 million on Scherzer, you have to imagine they're willing to go out and get another arm to kind of back up some of these young guys that they have a lot of faith in. So I definitely think it's a signal that somebody in that organization is willing to spend, and it's probably the people at the top.
So Des,
you know, Ted Lerner. Whatever. I don't.
Go ahead, Dan. No, you have something to say.
I don't want to like have any kind of like speculation about his lifespan or anything like that. It just seems like his character. What we know about his character is not someone who decides that he's gonna go crazy for one all-out push in one season. You know what I mean? He seems like a pretty like rational, conservative kind of character, and to me, you make this move if you think that Jordan Zimmerman's not going to be on your team moving forward, and that this gives you another arm.
Wait, does this mean, Chelsea, this means that Roark goes to the bullpen along relief? Is that kind of what's the writing on the wall?
For now, but I mean, no one's ever had all 5 starters, you know, make all their starts and never have to go to that. And having a guy who had 15 wins last year as your 6th starter is just stunning. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is a smart way to go all in for 2015 because it bolsters you long term. Again, if you lose Zimmerman,
and they could still trade Zimmerman, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Roark would be right back in there.
Is that what do you think the likelihood of that is, Chelsea, that they do move Zimmerman?
I think if they get blow them away offer of prospects, then they'll do it. They can. They have the flexibility, but I don't think it's a done deal for any means.